Bob Arum from Top Rank has had some not so nice words about Errol Spence, talking about his performance against Terrence Crawford. Obviously, no one really expected Terrence Crawford to do what he did to Errol Spence in that way. I know, you guys know I picked Errol Spence to win the fight. You know, I don't need to hear I was right. I got a lot from that. I got a lot of that from you guys already. You know, the told you so's, and I'll take it. I'll take it like a man, but it still hurts. Still hurts that, because you know, Errol Spence is one of my favorite fighters. So you know, there was a lot that I saw in him that I highlighted to beat Terrence Crawford. I didn't expect Terrence Crawford to neutralize Errol Spence the way he did. And the main thing that Bob Arum was talking about, and what's getting a lot of people's attention, is that he said that when they fought, no one talked about how Errol Spence struggles with left-handed fighters. And Bob Arum was saying how talking about Errol Spence and saying he can't fight a southpaw. Like, he doesn't know how to fight a southpaw. And in that fight, it's easy to say that because obviously Terrence Crawford's a southpaw, he's a switch hitter, but naturally I think he's at his best. At least recently, he's been at his best in the southpaw stance. But I think it's a lot more than that. I think that it's just the speed, it's the power, it's the IQ, and it's how ferocious Terrence Crawford is. Like, it's how mean he is, that killer instinct. A lot of fighters are tough, but there's a difference between toughness and having that Mamba mentality, like that Kobe Bryant mentality, where you're gonna go get that guy. And I think that Terrence Crawford carries that mentality. I don't see a lot of guys with that mentality. I think he has it, Terrence has it, Shakur has it, and I think that Gervonta Tank Davis has that. So that killer mindset takes you a long way. It separates you from guys who are just as good, just as fast, and just as strong and as tough as you are. It's that killer instinct. That's what separates Terrence Crawford. He's mean. He's a mean dude in the ring. And I think that even if Terrence Crawford was an orthodox fighter and he fights Errol Spence, I think that that result would have still been the same on July 29th. I think Terrence Crawford just created too many problems for Errol Spence. Errol Spence didn't know what to do. He was so busy with that jab. Don't get me wrong, obviously from the southpaw stance, his jab is going to be more accurate as opposed to if he was an orthodox fighter, you know, and the opposite stance, your jab isn't as effective. They say the jab can't land. It can, but you have to be pretty accurate with it, and it's a risky shot. So I just don't think the southpaw, Terrence Crawford being a southpaw was the main thing. I think it was just Errol Spence never faced a guy like Terrence Crawford. He was like, if you watched him, like, just get away from a shot from Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford, he throws a lot of shots down, like in the downward position. So when he was throwing down, Errol Spence was like, just barely getting out of the way, and you could notice on his face, he was like, the hell is this? Like, he's never seen it before. He's never seen that hand speed, the footwork, changing the angles on him, making him you know, off balance. And you know, Errol Spence isn't the most he's not so light on his feet to the point where he's able to turn and know where you are at all times. You know, he has to like really think, and then he'll turn, think, and then turn. And then when he was, you know, fighting Terrence Crawford, a lot of the times when he would have success, he'd sit back and admire his work and still be in the pocket. And, you know, Terrence would just unload shots on him and capitalize. And that was a big story of the fight as well. I think that's a lot of the reason why Terrence Crawford had so much success, was because Errol Spence doesn't move his head. Like, he wasn't moving his head at all. He's so used to bullying guys that he forgets, you know, what makes fighters great. You know, the head movement, changing angles, the upper body movement, being fluid, like that kind of stuff wins fights. That confuses people. Feints, being on your toes, that's the kind of stuff that Terrence Crawford has seen before in guys like Sean Porter, Gamboa, guys who are faster on their feet. They have that fast twitch muscle as well, but Errol Spence was just coming forward, making it easy for Terrence Crawford to just pick his shots and counter. That's all Terrence had to do. He had to box. He had to box as a counter puncher and fight the way he always does, and with his mind, with his IQ, his intelligence separated himself from Errol Spence on that night. And that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. I'm not trying to hate on Errol Spence. I'm just saying that they're like, in that fight, me personally, I learned a lot in that fight. It's about levels. Like, styles make fights, and obviously Errol Spence's style, he ran into the wrong guy who made him pay for every mistake he made. Every time he was in the pocket for too long, Terrence made him pay. Every time that Errol Spence kept throwing that jab out, a lazy jab, and it wasn't, you know, as fast or as stinging as Terrence's jab was, Terrence made him pay. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It was it's all the tools that Terrence Crawford carries that Errol Spence didn't have an answer for. You know, how dynamic what he was. You know, the speed not only on his feet but on his hands as well. It was too much for Errol Spence, and I think that's, you know, it's a combination of things that got Terrence Crawford the victory over Errol Spence on July 29th. So let me know in the comments. You guys think I'm wrong? Bob Arum seems to think that was the main thing. It was that Terrence Crawford's a southpaw and Errol Spence just simply can't beat a southpaw. But I think it's a lot. It's just the fighter. I think it's just how talented Terrence Crawford is. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know, leave a comment what you guys want to see next, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
That's going to do it for another Naz Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.